So Murali was introduced to me actually through one of our guru communities that Della and I are both in. And one of the things I realized that he has a wealth of programs and things that he does. So interesting, when I started doing this summit idea and what we were looking at, I reached out to him and I said, hey, okay, what do you want to do? Because he has essentially 6 different programs in which he's going to, offer to people, and they vary from moment to moment. But I know I've taken a few of his programs, a few of his, short online learning things that he's offered, and he is just full of information on how to build your business. So I won't go into too much more about him, but I'm going to give him the floor in a second. I'll just introduce him. So Murali he's an author, he's a speaker, he's a transformational coach, he's building of brands and building of people, which is what we all need right now, of course, during COVID and how to make things different. The whole idea of this summit. He's ready to take your personal or business brand from invisible to wow. And I cannot speak enough about how amazing, yes, he does bring it to wow. So I'm going to turn the floor over to you, Murali, and thank you so much for being here today.
Whether you like it or not, you are a brand. But a lot of people, a lot of companies, a lot of businesses stay in the invisible zone. They're just there. Who are you? I'm a chartered accountant. I'm a project manager. I'm an engineer. I'm a business owner. I'm a coach. And every category there are very few wow brands. A Pepsi and a Coke and a Samsung and an Apple and a Nike and Adidas. So it's a Starbucks and a Tim Hortons. I could go on and on. In every category there is just 1 or 2 guys who shine. The little science, it's science and art and everything, and I've studied this very carefully, okay? And I've come to the conclusion there are only 5 steps. If you follow these 5 steps, you can nail it. You can be an individual, you can be a business owner, you can go from invisible to wow in 5 steps. That's it, okay? A little about me, that's me, that's all I'm dedicated to do, unleashing your wow. That's all I do best. Define your edge. I believe each one of you is born unique. You are the greatest creation out there. I often ask my audiences, which is the greatest brand? And they say Nike and Apple and Amazon. I said, no, the greatest brand is you. It hasn't been discovered yet. That's the problem, right? I call this the hardware. Your head size is the same as that of Elon Musk and all the greats like Mandela and Gandhi. It's the software inside that needs to change. The hardware is perfect. The software in 5 easy steps, and that's all I do. That's my website. You can check it out, aceworldfoundation.com. Like Jennifer mentioned, I'm an author of books. Those are all Amazon bestsellers. They are on you can find them on Amazon. That's a book that's coming up next year. In a few months from now, I'm almost done with it. And it's all about unleashing your wow, 10 steps to build your brand. But today we'll talk about 5. Those are my clients. I teach the same thing to all of them, from Dell to American Express to Pepsi. That's worldwide. I traveled the world before COVID. That used to be me traveling the world. That Dubai newspaper carried actually a half-page supplement. So that's all we do on branding. But today the focus is on you. So let's go back to you. The 5 definite steps to build your brand, to take it from invisible to wow. What is a brand? Everyone's got a definition of brand. You Google it, you can find 1,000 variations. But this is what a brand is, very simply. That's Simon Sinek. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. People buy into your ethos, your principles, your values. People make emotional decisions and they back it with logic. Today some of you could make it, some of you did make it. Those who couldn't make it always will have a reason. I always say you either have a reason or you have a result. So if you're a brand, you got to give people a reason to associate with you. That's Steve Forbes. Your brand is the most single important investment you can make in your business. Like I said, everyone's got a different definition of brand. This is my definition of brand. So that was Simon Sinek and Steve Forbes. Here is the Muralism coming at you. You have a unique fingerprint. The universe sent you on earth. The force above sent you on earth as a brand. You are unique. Look at this. But you and I, the sad part is all our life we live as a photocopy. We are born an original, we live as a photocopy. Oh, what do? I'm an MBA, I'm a this, I'm a that, I'm a doctor, but there are 100 others. And so if I have a toothache, I type dentist Toronto and a million show up, I don't know whom to decide. You see what I'm saying? And it's all about branding. You were born a brand, don't ever forget that. Do not live life as a photocopy. So what are the 5 steps? Well, branding changes everything. Look at that. Coffee, come on. Boiling water, coffee bean. But you put a logo on the styrofoam cup, boom. they can charge $4-5. You make a t-shirt, $1-2 t-shirt, put that swoosh on it, you can charge anything you want. That, my friend, is the power of branding. It can change your life. This is our agenda for today. Okay, we're going to do it in the next 40 minutes. We're going to split it into 3 parts. We're going to learn how the others did it, how the famous ones did it, how I did it for my clients following the same principle. That's all I did. I studied the famous brands, I did it for my client. After that, we're going to learn how we can build it for you. Easy? So let's begin. Our agenda. Learn how the others did it. What are the 5 steps? The 5 levels of brand building. Brand insignificance. A brand starts with no knowledge. No one knew Apple and Nike and Disney once upon a time. Everyone, including you, starts as an insignificant entity. You do something and then you create a brand disruption. The greats have done it. You disrupt the market. You specialize in something. When you disrupt, you create a brand experience. People love you. Okay? People don't drive an Aston Martin because it takes me from A to B. They drive it for the experience. If I wanted to see time, I can buy a Casio for $30. It shows great time. But why do people buy a Rolex? It's a brand experience, right? And that creates brand loyalty. People swear by you. And that creates, in my position, brand authority. You see what it is? You can go from insignificant to authority, the wow status. Let's study. Everyone starts at this, called brand insignificant. It could be a brand, it could be an individual. This is who you are. You are just a faceless entity, just living life out there. It's what you do with it. I always say this. You are born insignificant. Why are you living insignificant? That's your choice, isn't it? So what can you do to change the table? This is how the brands have done it. One of the things you need to understand is you and I are bombarded with messages. The average human being is exposed to 5,000 ads and thousands of messages each day. If you want to be a brand, you got to cut through. If you're looking for a job, you got to cut through the clutter of other applicants. If you're a business owner trying to sell a product or service, you got to cut through. You could be a plumber, you could be a sushi maker, you could be a dance teacher, you could be a coach like me. You got to cut through the clutter because your audience is getting exposed to 5,000 ads per day. This is how the greats have done it. Discover your purpose. Simon Sinek wrote a book, Start with the Why. Why do you exist? What is your brand purpose? Why are you doing what you're doing? And that's Ford Motors. They don't just make cars. We go further to make our cars better, our employees happier, and our planet a better place to be in. A higher purpose. Starbucks, not just coffee, to inspire and nurture the human spirit. Twitter, to give everyone the power to create and share ideas. You see what I'm saying? Discover a purpose, and for that to happen, you got to sit with a branding coach who can identify your unique qualities and help you discover a purpose. If you don't watch out, that's why most brands fail and they languish in the marketplace. It's called the black hole. You just get lost there. You never come up again. Okay, you are like the parked car on the highway. You have no emotion in your messaging, and as a result, you have no motion. Level number 2, once you've created a brand identity, remember guys, it's not a logo, it's not a fancy design, it's beyond that, it's your ethos. You got to specialize, you got to differentiate, you got to disrupt the market. Who's a good example than Domino Pizza? When they entered the market in the 80s, the marketplace was full of pizza brand and they said 30 minutes or it's free. Well, they no longer say that, they say 30 minutes or 30% off. But guess what happened? They shot up from number 20 to number 2 and 3. That's brand disruption, isn't it? Here's one more example. Uber. They weren't competing with the taxi companies. They disrupted the whole market, isn't it? Optimistically, they disrupted the whole market. What are you doing in your workplace, in your profession, in your career? Like I said, you could be a job seeker, you could be a student, you could be a middle management struggling to move up, or you can be an entrepreneur like me, or Jennifer, or Della, or anyone here. You've got to disrupt, you've got to create some unique value and offer it to the world, isn't it? Uber disrupted by offering a benefit. It empowered me and you. Alright? That's one more disruption. Tom Shoes, they don't just sell shoes. That's an altruistic approach. With every product you buy, we will help a person in need. So every shoe you buy, another shoe is donated by Tom Shoes to someone in Africa or somewhere. What a beautiful thought. Buy one and you give one away free. Everyone wants to be part of a movement like that. And so you create a movement. By now, a brand has created a movement. Alright? When you go from insignificant to significant and you do a brand disruption, you're ready for a brand experience. And that's Seth Godin. People do not buy goods and services, my friends. They buy relationships, stories, and magic. What is the story behind your brand? What is the magic? What is the relationship that they bring? Who is a good example? The brand that you and I relate to. Who are they? We all relate to Nike. Come on, it's just a shoe, it's just a t-shirt. No, it inspires me. If you have a human body, you are an athlete. Coke, come on, carbonated drink, for God's sake, but open happiness. Coke is a movement. Apple. There are Androids and then there are Appleophobes. Anyone who goes on Apple never goes back on Android. What is it about the Apple movement? The brand is costlier, it doesn't cover all apps, but there is something about the movement. It's called the brand experience. Alright, this is how they have done it. People can be brands too. If you're wondering, Murali, you're only talking about companies. Each one of them, how did they become a brand? They stood for something. Martin Luther King stood for something. Gandhi stood for something. Oprah stood for something. Like I said in the beginning, you want to go from insignificant to significant, discover a purpose. Sit with your branding coach and discover a purpose. Once you discover a purpose, remember the thumbprint, your purpose is unique to you. And so Martin Luther King wasn't the first guy to fight for inequality, or Gandhi wasn't the first one to fight for freedom movement. How did they win? Because they were able to communicate their purpose with clarity, and they could create a brand experience. People followed them. It became a movement. Every great brand is a movement. Alright, so that's level 3. Level 4, this is when people become loyal to you. It's called brand loyalty. That's Howard Schultz, the creator of Starbucks. If people believe they share values with a company, they'll stay loyal to the brand. And that's what RJ spoke about earlier, values. Do you convey values and do people relate to those values? That's why Starbucks is no longer coffee, it's social currency. I wouldn't be excited holding a styrofoam cup, but you will know and I will know and each one of us knows there's something special when we walk around with a Starbucks cup. Alright? And people line up and willing to pay $4 to $5. That's brand loyalty. Brand loyalty, if Starbucks also offers something of practical value, people actually use it like a third home, from their home and their office, and they go hang out there. They celebrate a win there. There are many things that a brand does. So you always should be offering some practical value. Finally, we come to the last step. By now, you have gone from insignificant to significant. You have disrupted the market, created a specialty or differentiated yourself. You create brand loyalty, you deliver the experience. Very few people go there. Come on, Disneyland is just a carousel and an expensive one. I will stand for 45 minutes to get on a ride. Within 14 seconds, it's done. But people go there with moist eyes. I have been to Orlando airport. I have seen children cry when they had to leave Orlando because they visited Disneyland, right? And the happiest place on earth. And in every category, 1 or 2 people take that brand authority status. One more example, Walmart. Come on, it's a grocery store. Then my next door grocery store sells me a loaf of bread and milk. But guess what I do? And so do you. I take my car, drive 2 blocks, fight to find parking, then go pick up the same loaf of bread and the same milk and stand in line to pay my money to Walmart. Because they say save money, Murali, and live better. It's a brand authority. When it comes to shopping, they are brand authority. And that is a picture just captured outside of Walmart. That's a typical loyal customer of Walmart, and that's who she is. And hopefully her son will become that. You know, these brands convey that authority status. If there's one thing I want you to remember and you want to write it down, be perceived as a trusted authority. You want to be a brand, whatever you do, I tell this, you teach people how they should treat you. So teach people they treat you as a trusted authority. And that's how you do it. And that, my friend, there were the 5 levels of brand building. Everyone starts at 0 and they can go to wow. You are insignificant, big deal. Become significant. Have a great identity, great logo. A logo or a tagline should evolve from your ethos, from your principles. Figure out how you can leverage the market, create some disruption. Don't be just another so-and-so. Be the something. Create a brand experience around you. That creates loyalty and that helps you go to the authority status. That was the first part of our agenda. We all learned how the others did it. I, in my career, have followed the same principles, the same 5 steps, and that is how I have built my career. Now we see how I did it for my clients, and then we go on to how we can do it for you. Same 5 steps. Create a brand identity, create a brand disruption, deliver a brand experience, help them enjoy brand loyalty, and make my brands the brand authority in that area. Alright? This is how I did it. Create brand authority, identity. Now, I have worked with hundreds of clients. I continue to work with hundreds of clients, not only in Canada, but the US and worldwide. I'll just take one example in every category. So a couple of months back, mortgage company came over and they said, we want to rebrand, I want to do everything properly, website and LinkedIn and everything. I said, good. So we started with everything. Remember, they were just another mortgage company. No, I said no. It's not what you say, it's how people should perceive you. Start with the end in mind. And so this is a company, it's called Lendetees. They are a Richmond Hill based corporation, exclusive mortgage professionals, but we created this whole experience of building meaningful relationships and delivering peace of mind. That's their ideal client. I told them, do not sell your service, sell the end benefit of how it looks when you do your service. You see what I'm saying? And so the end customer, the family, is empowered. They are not just buying into a mortgage service, they are empowered to take wise financial decisions. You see what I'm saying? And so Lendit stood for Empowering Solution. That's the About Us page from that website. You can check it out. Empowering Solution, and that became their philosophy and their corporate identity. You see what I'm saying? Going from just a mortgage provider that was insignificant to becoming an empowering solution provider that delivers peace of mind through its services. A significant jump. Alright, that's how it's done. Step number 2. Well, how did I create brand disruption? There's one thing you want to know. You can't be everything to everyone. This is a fatal mistake most brands make. If I had time, I could do this. If I have to do rapid fire, and if I said Starbucks, you would say coffee. But Starbucks also sells water and cookies. Why didn't you say that? Because your mind only holds one thought. Same thing, if I said McDonald's, you would say burger or fries. And I could argue, but McDonald's also serves coffee. But you do not recollect that. Rapid fire, the mind only captures one thought. So irrespective of whatever you offer and you do, I want you, my friends, to remember one thing. The mind will only hold one thought. What do you want to be known for? In this lifetime, you will do a lot of things. You will do one thing amazingly well. Each one of you on this call is gifted. You haven't discovered your gift yet. Okay, well, RJ did a great presentation. Can I do it like him? No, I can do it my way. Ahmed before me and Alan and Jennifer and Della, wonderful people. Can I be like them? No. But I can be my own brand. You've got to discover your giftedness. Otherwise, you'll be wandering around. I always say this. Millions of people are among the crowd lost, and a few go above the crowd. That's your choice. Among the crowd or above the crowd, identify one speciality that only you do well. Look at what people give you feedback. Look at what you're good at. Those are feedbacks the universe is giving you. Hey, you're good at this. You're good at singing, and they become a singer. Hey, you're good at doing stand-up comedy, and they become a stand-up comedian. Watch out what people are saying. This was my brand, and we worked with TD Bank. When I say we, me and my team, we said TD Bank can't be everything to every bank. We focused on one audience, which was the new Canadians. New Canadians form the bulk of the Canadian marketplace who enter this country and get into banking. And so we said, this happened a few years back, maybe 6 years back. What if TD Bank focuses on all its energy on serving the new Canadian? And so it became the bank for new Canadian. As a result, in that particular category, guess what? TD Bank is number 1. And that's the web content I did for TD Bank. That's the web page, not tdbank.com, but tdbank.com/new Canadian. Look at the feel and the touch and the content. Everything is done intentionally. Everything is done on purpose. It's been written in a certain style. We speak your language. And the same content was translated into multiple languages. And this is what we told TD Bank. Don't be everything to everyone. Have a primary purpose, have a primary target audience, and then you can serve the other. And so the example of Starbucks and McDonald's I gave you. The primary audience is coffee for Starbucks. Secondary, they offer many things. McDonald's, primary, secondary. Check out, you can be doing a lot of things, but Murali, this is my primary service. I'm good at this. And then build a brand around it. That's how you create a disruption and you differentiate. Step number 3, once that is done, it's easier. Now the going gets easy. Delivering a brand experience. How do you deliver a brand experience? People have to fall in love with you for the value you provide in their life. There has to be a reason for people to like you. Remember the 5,000 ads? An average man is bombarded by 5,000 ads, 5,000 messages each day. You wake up in the morning and your audience is bombarded just like you. Okay, the temptation to check out the email and WhatsApp and Facebook and Netflix. You got to cut through the clutter, and that will only happen when people like you and they fall in love with you. Here is something we did. So I worked with Freedom Mobile, and we said for Freedom Mobile the primary target audience was students. Well, in Canada it's very expensive, all of us know this, to get on a mobile plan, and students are suffering a lot. They could go to any of the big 3 players, but we struck a deal with Freedom Mobile. This is what we did. 10 gigabits for just $50. Anyone can manage that. 10 gigabits, $50. And we said go from zero to hero. Become a data hero. You see what I'm saying? And we had a herd of students signing up into the plan, and they fell in love with the brand and the whole plan. $50, 10 gigabit, made sense. I go from zero to hero. An inherent benefit drawn in. Okay. Here is one more example of how we delivered the experience. This is a client of mine, Life Plan Investments, and we said the same thing. Anyone can offer investment. What can you do? They said our primary target audience is families, and we said, yeah, families have many headaches. There's a newborn baby, they're changing diaper, they're also paying off their EMI and mortgage and everything. I said, okay, beyond investment planning, we give you control of your finances. You remember Maslow's law? Give people control over their finances, and this became a very successful campaign for them. These are all websites you can check out, and that's how I have done. Finally, brand authority. That was brand loyalty, finally brand authority. Okay, this is my website. It's on the homepage of my website. You can check it out, aceworldfoundation.com. That's American Express and RBC and the Indo-Canadian Chamber of Commerce and Navy League of Canada. Just a few of my clients, each of them an authority in their marketplace. Alright, and this is an example of how I have taken my clients from ground zero to all the way to brand authority, and wow, each of them, RBC and American Express, each of them has discovered. And when I say I didn't do everything, but we are part of a team, but understanding the principles and taking it up from that. There are also videos on my website. We won't play it now because of lack of time, and these are all videos. So now we come, my friends, to how we can build brand you. You learned how the others did it. Every famous brand from Nike to Disney. You saw how I did the same thing for my clients. Well, if the others can do it, if I can do it for my clients, I can do it very well for you. Alright? So get your paper, pen, everything ready. This is how we build your brand. Let's build brand you. Okay? It's very easy. Just follow the global principle. It works. It always works. Murali, I don't know anyone. No one knows me. I'm insignificant. Well, that's a start. The same 5 steps. We build your identity. We create a disruption. There has to be something unique about you. It's impossible that there's nothing unique about you. It's for a branding coach to discover that and to package it nicely. And then I help you discover the brand experience and loyalty and take you there. Step number 1. How do you create a brand identity? Today, this is a world of social media. It's an internet-driven world. Digital, virtual marketplaces, artificial intelligence. You got to think digital. You got to think social media. You got to think 360 degrees. Okay, it's not just a marketing flyer or a logo. It's the whole package. So I'll help you create a brand identity. We'll work with you. Discover your emotional appeal. Write this down. People make emotional decisions and they back it with logic. I have no reason why I choose one smartphone over the other. I have no reason why I choose one coffee brand over the other. But we all do it. Okay, a car is a car, but there's a reason we choose one brand over the other. Okay, so understanding your emotional appeal and creating a specialization is the first step. Defining your unique value proposition. I've said this before, I'll say it now. Whether you like it or not, your audience always has a question on their forehead. If you could scan it, it says, why you so what? Maybe a half an hour back when you started, some of you were saying, why you so what? Now it's clear. Every time you approach, maybe you're looking for a job, the recruiter is saying, why you so what? Maybe you're looking for the next service provider, why you so what? Maybe you're trying to pitch your service. Maybe you're trying to sell a better product. And never compete on price. That would be a defeating proposition. Always compete on value. Why you so what? And that's your unique value proposition. That's your competitive edge. And then help you create an online presence. This is an image I picked off Google. You can take a second to read it. The first sentence from the book Guerrilla Marketing Today. Your online credibility often determines your overall income. I gave you an example, I'll say it again. I have a toothache and I go to the computer and I type dentist Toronto. Maybe 1,000 show up. Google page 1, page 2 and all the way up to page 20. Tell me honestly, do we all go beyond page 1? Maybe we go to page 2. Which means I make my selection of a dentist on page 1. The dentist that was right for me was on page 7. Well, he never made the effort to come to page 1. He may be qualified, he may be skilled, everything. He may be even cost effective. But he never made the effort or did not know how to come to page 1. As a result, he lost me. I did not have the patience to go to page 7. As a result, I lost him. You see what I'm saying? It happens. You can be looking for a mortgage broker. You can be looking for a Chinese restaurant next door. You can be looking for the next Toyota dealership. None of us leave page 1. So if you're on this call, if you're saying I'm a project manager, Murali, looking for a job, just an example. The recruiter on LinkedIn searches you. If you don't come up on page 1, goodbye. So today's resume, today's brand is Google page 1, guys. Not trying to boast here, but you can Google me. You will see me on 4 pages of Google. And I haven't paid a cent to Google. It's how you brand yourself. Okay, so that's important. You work with a coach, you can get it done. Step number 2, developing brand disruption. I don't care what you do. If you're not disrupting, you're doing it wrong. You can't be offering the same old service. Okay, even gas stations brand themselves differently. And so Shell is different from Petro-Canada because the services they offer, someone offers, buy 5 car washes, we'll throw in the second free. Everyone is doing something to innovate. Okay, and so you got to disrupt. Start with social media. Remember I said, why you so what? Your social media profile, your Instagram or your Facebook or LinkedIn is the first thing people look you up to. Look you up. Whenever your name is mentioned, they look you up on Google. If people are saying, so what? Isn't that something to be fixed? I don't want to live on this earth and people say, so what? No one should ever say, so what to me. And that's the way I live in and that's how you should do. Again, working with the coach helps you. Helping you deliver a brand experience. Let's start with the famous Steve Jobs. This is how you deliver customer experience, guys. Let me tell you one thing. Be a movie script writer. I do a lot of movies writing, I do video production and all. Let me tell you this. Movie script writers always start with the end in mind. Who is the murderer? And then they work backwards. Okay, you don't start a movie and then say, let's throw in a bunch of characters and let's see who ends up becoming a murderer. No. Every script starts with the end in mind and it's written in backward. Your success destination should be written end in mind. Let's say I am in Markham right now. I want to go to Mississauga. I set my GPS to a certain address in Mississauga and then I start with the end in mind. Isn't that what you do? Exactly. So if you want your customer to be happy, to be excited, to be joyful after having interacted with you, what should happen? And that's a Steve Jobs, quote. This is how Steve Jobs did it. That's an image from his launching the iPod a couple of years back. Well, you and I know the iPod got launched and it took over the music industry by storm and changed things overnight. And on the day of launch, he did not say, I got an instrument with 5 gigabit hard drive. Well, that's what it was. Guess what he said? 1000 songs in your pocket. And so that is how brand building is done. You help them visualize the benefit. Let me repeat. Help your customers visualize the benefit of doing business with you. And that clears it. And so my corner grocery store just sells commodities. Walmart says, Murali, save money, live better. And I say, wow. A smartphone is just a piece of metal, guys. I have a piece of metal here. I know it's a piece of metal. I know it's just a watch. But that piece of metal, Apple said, think different. And so 1 million plus people start buying Apple phone. You have to visualize, think different, save money, live better. Just do it. always fresh. Imagine Tim Hortons telling you and me, I have the best coffee beans from Colombia. I got this great milk plant in Mississauga. Who's interested? Always fresh. So brand building is always done through visuals. Okay, so that's how we deliver the brand experience. Welcome to the 21st century. We are in December 2020. It's the digital age. You can't escape it. Even this presentation you're doing digitally. How do you stimulate people to action digitally? Well, that's where a coach can help you. Build a brand you on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Twitter, on everything out there. On every platform. These are free. Get on them. Build your brand. And don't be wasting time posting cat videos and dog videos. It's beyond that, right? There's a lot of noise on the internet, guys. Be very careful what you post on social media. You are a brand. I did not see last anyone from Rogers on the Rogers website posted there's a great sale at the Bay, let's go. That's what ordinary people do. Rogers is branding itself. RBC is branding itself. Pepsi is branding itself on social media. On social media, do not do religious posts or political posts. Build your brand, guys. Be very serious about who you are because people take you seriously. Once an impression is made, it never changes. Alright? And that's how you earn brand loyalty. This is what brand loyalty is. Brand loyalty is never what you say about yourself. People make a big mistake. I go to people's website, who are we, and about us, and we do this, we do that, our project, and they do the same thing on LinkedIn, and they do the same thing on Instagram, in their email, in their brochures. Enough of talking about yourself. The world wants to know what others are talking about you. They are called brand ambassadors. It's called influencer marketing. People make decisions not on what you say about yourself. People make decisions on what others say about them, about others. So if Tom Cruise is going to release a movie tomorrow, Mission Impossible 7, I would get influenced by Della or Jennifer who will say, Murali, check out, that's a great new movie. Or the James Bond movie that's going to come up in a few months. I don't think Ian Fleming called me and said, or Daniel Craig called me and said, Murali, can you watch my movie? It's what others tell me, and that's how I'm influenced to go take an action. Okay? So branding is what others talk about you, not what you talk about yourself. And that will take you to brand authority. Remember, I used the word trusted authority. You got to become a trusted authority. Alright? So as you take a moment to pause, I am insignificant, but I can create an identity. I do not want to offer the same services. I want to offer something special, something that differentiates me, something that disrupts the market. I will be conscious about delivering a brand experience. I will be conscious about earning brand loyalty. Brand loyalty is earned. It can't be paid, and I can't spend money and get it. It's earned through trust, and people have to fall in love with you. And that's how you become a trusted authority. A trusted authority is an industry matter expert, is a subject matter expert. And this is a random example I picked off LinkedIn. Here is one thing I want to share with you. The way you become an authority is when you solve problems. Why is Google number one in search? Because it solves problems. Why is Netflix number one in online streaming? It solves a problem. Why is Uber and why is Airbnb? Look at all the great brands. They became great because they solved a problem. That's how the universe works. You got to solve a problem to earn brand loyalty. Solve one unique problem. Your audience has many problems. Identify your audience, identify their need, and then solve a problem. This is a random example I picked off the internet. I have no idea who Katie is, but look, she's coming across as a trusted authority. Which means what? If you love blogging, go for it. On my website, you'll see me write blogs for multiple organizations, not just one. I have my own blog, but I write for others. You are an expert in what you do. Go share it with others. This is just one example of delivering brand loyalty. Okay, and that from among the crowd, you became above the crowd. Wasn't that easy? You got to start somewhere, right? You can't live your life saying I'm insignificant. Take this step. The world's greats have done it. I have followed the same principle. I built my career, my business, doing the same thing for my clients from RBC TD Bank, and I'm ready to do it for you. 5 steps. 5 steps to build brand you. Don't be a lost human being in this world of 7.8 billion people. You were born unique. You got to stand out. People can be brands too. If you're wondering, I only spoke about companies. Each one of them became a brand. They identified a purpose. They stood for it and they created a movement around them. Look at them. Anyone, right? They were regular people like you and me. Never be a commodity, be a brand. I spoke about this. Commodities compete on price. Brands deliver value, and so people are willing to pay anything for a Starbucks, for an Apple, for a Rolls Royce, for a Rolex, and so on and so forth. If you are looking for a career without branding, your career is dead. These are all images I picked off Google, by the way. I didn't sit and design them. It's available on Google. Brands project power. When you're a trusted authority, you project power. Again, an image I picked off the internet. We have 5 more minutes left. Take 5 seconds to read this. People make up their minds about you in 0.25 seconds. Zoom. You go into a bookstore, you look at a book, you pick it up or not, in the first 3 seconds you decide. The cover entices you. Same thing. Human beings make decisions whether to like you or not in 0.25 seconds. Okay, whether you know it or not, you're a brand. You're either a positive brand, a negative brand, or a no-name brand, but you're a brand. Okay, people first buy your personality and then they buy your products and services. I'll give an example. The area I live in, lot of realtors do open houses. There's no dearth of realtors in my area. Every realtor is the same. They just buy homes and sell homes. Even then, I went with a realtor who was recommended to me by a friend who doesn't even stay in my neighborhood. My own neighbor is a realtor, but I didn't go with him. People don't buy a commodity, product or service. They buy your personality. Okay. People buy the person first, the company second, the services third, and price last. Never fall into this fallacy of people deciding on price. That never happens. Alright? And as we come to the end, what is your brand purpose? You were put on this planet for a purpose. Your thumbprint is unique. You are already a brand. Don't be a vague photocopy. What's your promise? You have only 2 choices. Will you be extinct or will you leave a legacy? Will you be distinct? Okay? And so, offer a brand makeover package irrespective of wherever you are. And this is what it includes. Work with you to develop your unique brand identity, the why you so what. Establish your unique personal value proposition in the form of a tagline, slogan, every communication piece you create. Update your LinkedIn profile, very important. When I say LinkedIn, I mean Instagram, Facebook, it's all the same. Your social media presence, update it and optimize it for search engine optimization. If you have a website or if you're planning to do one, I can give you 5 pages including the home page, the about page, like how I did it for my clients including TD Bank, your mission page, your values page, why choose you over others, very important, plus 1 bonus page. If you are into social media, I can give you social media engagement ideas for many months to attract people powerfully. Video scripts. If Google is the #1 search engine, YouTube is #2. I hope you knew that. And these are things I do, guys. I can help you create your brand even on YouTube. And finally, ideas and tips and strategies to build brand loyalty and brand authority in the physical world, the offline, and also the online. You can get in touch with me on my website aceworldfoundation.com. That's my email, murali@aceworldfoundation.com, and that's my phone number, 416-937-1235. Many ways to contact me, or you can even get in touch with me through Jennifer. Once again, thank you for being a great audience, and thank you Jennifer and Della for putting all this together. Appreciate everything. Open to questions, Jennifer, Della, if there are any.
Thank you, Murali. That was amazing.